in my Skool course online, there's a whole section there for you to do video feedback. And one of my clients, whatever, new friends, reached out and asked for feedback on her swing. And so I gave feedback, and then I followed up. She followed up saying, like, how far should my be bending? Like, where should my back be? Should it be, you know, way the hell down here? Should it be up here? And this is something I've never actually seen anyone really cover when they're teaching kettlebell swing. So let's talk about that for a second. Where your back goes is going to be very dependent on the type of swing that you're doing and why you're doing it. So how much mobility do you have in your hips? How much are you allowing your knees to bend, right? The more I can bend my knees, the more I can get kind of parallel to the ground. Anything more than parallel is, I don't know that that's useful for a swing. For a lot of other things it can be. You can really get way down here, but then my back's gonna bend, which I love. There's a couple different exercises that really focus on that, the bend, and then you're using those spinal erectors and stuff to bring yourself back up, strengthening that whole area. I think those are fabulous, and I think you should be doing them. But when we're talking about the kettlebell swing, that's not really what we're doing. We're trying to have a fairly stiff, I don't want to say stiff, but like, you know, a good posture in there, a good little bit of tightness in the center of the body. So when you're bending, we're looking to be as far back as you feel comfortable. So your chest is coming down as far as is comfortable. I like to have a slightly bent knee, especially when I'm going for a more strength style swing. I'm going to really be getting pretty deep in here. So when I'm here, I'm really thinking, where am I at the beginning? When I'm at the beginning, when I'm here, my back is almost parallel to the ground. Like, it's really low here. This is where I want it for pretty much every swing then, right? Up, up, up. Now, I can't see myself in this video right now, but my guess is I'm pretty close to parallel, and that's what I'm pushing towards. If you're trying to do a more stiff-legged one, where you're really trying to use a lot more of that, like hamstring and stuff, you're really trying, for whatever reason in your workout, you're really trying to keep the legs stiff, you won't be able to go as far, right? Like, this is about as far as I can go before my back has to bend. So that's it for me. Oof, that's really hard. I don't like that one, but some people do. Some people really like the straight legs. By all means, if it's working for your goals, great. But you won't be able to go as low. So find the position that makes sense. When you think you're going to start losing your back, that's your end. All right? The kettlebell swing is hard on the back, the lower back as it is, especially when you're learning. So don't make it any worse by forcing yourself to go further than your body is ready for. Okay? What else? If you're doing kettlebell sport, you're probably staying a smidge more upright because of this motion here. You don't need to come way down here. So if I went way down here for my swing, I feel like I'm just like losing it. I'm not saying people don't do it. There are some that do it and they do it very well. Great. But for most of us, it's much more a riding of the hips here. You can see how upright my chest stays here, and I bring it back up. So again, all depends on what you're going for. If you're taking the beginner part of my course, then I would say you're trying to let your knees bend a bit. You're trying to push your butt back pretty aggressively, and you're trying to bring your back more towards parallel to the ground, to whatever point it is that you're safe. When you were doing that good morning drill, the first workouts in there, where you're holding the bell here, wherever you were at the end range there, that should be the same end range. So I would say make sure you're warming up with that drill if you're really starting to learn swings, and that'll help you know what angles you should be at a little bit better.